Hello, dear one. For some reason, I wanted to share today how much I love my work as a Hakomi therapist and a self-love mentor, and just really assisting my clients in finding what it is inside of them that prevents them from expanding into who they really are and of course are longing for, because that's all we all want, really. Underneath it all we want is just fully being ourselves in our full glory, in our bigness, in our creativity, in our love, in our connection with everybody and everything. This is what lives inside of us, and this is what we want. The problem, of course, is that there are all these layers and barriers and, cement blocks that are getting in the way, but we are so used to them that we can't see them. It's that thing that's in the back of your mind as saying, "Mer, mer, mer," like, you're not good enough, or it is often so subtle. It's like a whisper, but this whisper reverberates through your whole system and it impacts everything. And because of those whispers, whether they are from, the false matrix, or whether they're from an event that happened to you when you were younger or older, it's still all the false matrix because none of it is true. But who cares if every cell in your body believes it's true and feels like it is true? It doesn't matter if I say it's not real. It has no landing place. And we often do that in the spiritual circles, which is a bypass. We can say it's not real, but inside, none of you, not one single part of you or one single cell or tissue believes you. It only believes what it is holding on to in this contraction, and its pain and its fear and its grief and its whatever it is. We need to go there to liberate that part. There is no bypassing. Well, there's a lot of bypassing, but not when I'm involved, not when I work with my clients. We gently go, and it is like it's a very sensitive process. I have done this for so many years, and I just feel and sense what is going on. I feel and sense what you may not be aware of, what you may not be feeling or sensing because you are contracted in this frozenness where all you know it's freezing cold and I want a coat and I want, something to keep me warm. And I'm going to look for that everywhere in the world. But what we really need to do is to go into that frozenness, that emotional contraction that we are so identified with. And a warm coat is going to be nice for a while, but the warm coat is not going to resolve the contraction. It might just give a temporary relief, which is fine if that's all you have access to. Wear that warm coat. But if you want to be free from that frozenness, from that unconscious contraction and belief, then you need to become aware of what it is that is holding you back. That's why an extra pair of eyes who are trained and sensitized to that is very helpful. And this is not to toot my own horn at all, but I see it just over and over and over. Those who just listen to YouTube videos and take online courses and practice all kind of things, it will only get you so far onto a certain point when you have really learned to go in yourself with sensitivity, with tenderness, with love, with an openness, a curiosity, a loving curiosity, so you can meet that part. And I'm telling you, none of us learned that when we grew up or went to school or whatever. It was just kind of put to the side in a contraction, and then the rest of our lives, we try and get away from it or get rid of it. And here we are, right? It's not working. So it is helpful to have somebody see what you cannot see and bring it to your attention in a way so that you can see it. It's not like, I'm just throwing it at you and see what I'm seeing. It's not helpful. That's still all up here. It's really helping you go to that place that has been scary and painful and whatever it is, all the reasons that you have not gone there yet to be present in it. Once you are able to do that and learn the how to, and I know I talk about it a lot, and I have, what I call my all formula. You may have heard me talk about that. ALL, that stands for allow, listen, and love. It's like a simple three-step program or three-step experience where you learn to meet this part of yourself in a way that helps them soften, and they help you become aware of what they need that they never received. And then the third step is the love part, the last L. That's when you start loving the part and giving it what it needed. And that in itself is also a process because it's going to be new. We have suppressed all our needs, our wants, our longings forever because there was nobody in our life to give that to us. And then we learned, okay, well, I can't have that, or I have to figure it out myself, or there's nobody here to help me. I have, whatever we do. And then we become very self-reliant and independent, and we learn to do it all ourselves. Do you think you're the only one who's doing that? I see it all the time. It's definitely been part of my own unfolding. And when I started learning Hakomi, I became very aware of my self-reliant nature and character. And then I needed to start working on it, to learn to ask for help, to receive help, to feel that it's okay to not having to do it all on my own, all these layers that we all have. So if it's enough for you right now, for me just to share that with you and you're able to go in and be present with that, then hallelujah, then this video is probably serving a good purpose. But if you have been trying this for a long time and you are still, not really being who you want to be, or able to fully relax, give yourself space to relax, to chill out, to not do. Ooh, such a big one, such a big one. We're so conditioned and programmed to do that it is very hard to just unplug for a moment and not do anything. There are people who are very good at that. I happen to not be one of those. I was one of those who always felt I needed to be busy. And even when I was not busy, there was a part that thought I should be busy. These are all programming and patterns in the false matrix that keep us spinning around, going around the hamster wheel, and never, ever reaching this longing. So I could ask you, are you ready? Do you feel that you really want this? Are you ready to take that step? And again, you're welcome to connect with me and see if we would be a good match. But you might already have somebody in your life. And I'm not going to try and convince you that I'm the only one because I'm not. But maybe there is somebody in your area. Maybe you already have a wonderful therapist or coach or whatever. And maybe you're already doing it. That's fantastic. But if you happen to be one of those where you feel like stuck and you can feel there's a stuckness, but you don't know what to do with it. Yeah, here comes my kitty again. He's so cute. He knows how to ask for help, by the way. Um, yeah, then reach out, my friends. It's not a weakness that you need help or support. It's a strength when you can own that in yourself and then reach out to whoever you feel in resonance with, and then get that help. Because if we're stuck in this, I can do it myself, I should be able to do this myself, I've done all this work, I've read all the books, I've gone to all these retreats, I can do it. But are you? And maybe you are. I'm not talking to everybody here, but I'm talking to those who are, come here. Yeah, come here. I'm talking to those who still feel stuck and it's just not working. But sometimes just one little thing that I might be able to see can make a huge difference. It's like the key that opens up the door to yourself, because that's really all it is, right? It's just seeing where we have locked the doors to receive the expansion and the fulfillment that we are. Think about it. Think about it. Consider doing what is needed to soften so much in yourself that all these frozen parts that keep you on the hamster wheel and that basically keep you up here, because that's what it is. We think we should do it ourselves, so we whatever we do, that's all happening up here, but that's not helping here. This needs something else. In my book, which is you can find it in the description below, my book, Imagine Being Kind to Yourself, there is a chapter on, it's like the languages, that they're like two different languages. I think I used the metaphor of, you know, French and Chinese or something. So the mind is like, let's say, Chinese, and the body is French. And when they talk to each other, they have no clue what the other is saying. They're like totally, totally different. So we cannot use the mind to connect with the body. That has to be something, and a sense, the felt sense, where you let yourself sink in, and then it's right there. What you're looking for is right there. But the mind might come in and say, no, that's not it, or no, I can't do that, or that's embarrassing, or I've tried that before, that didn't work. This is how we keep not going in here and softening in to who we truly are and the experience that we're longing for. Who we truly are. That's what we long for. You want to come up? So think about it, my friends. I just felt moved to jump in today and say that because I see it all the time. And if it can help for me to just speak this out loud that you might just recognize, like, oh yeah, I do that, and I do think I have to do it all on my own. And we all do it, it's part of the false matrix programming where we feel that we're all separate and we have proof that nobody's there to help me, so I have to do it all on my own. And we stay stuck. So here's an invitation if you want to start getting unstuck a little bit, start softening, and maybe start experiencing more of who you are and what you deeply, deeply long for. All right, my friends, all the information will be in the description below. And of course, if you want to join me next Tuesday, first Tuesday of the month, for my online gathering called Feel Your Deepest Longing, Find Your Spiritual Calling. You can see how it all connects, right? Feel your deepest longing. You have to go in here and open up to that. And then you start aligning with your divine. And then you can start moving from in here instead of up here. Have a wonderful day.